Hey everyone, it's Tess. I'm just getting in here a little bit earlier, trying to get this moving backwards a little bit. And today I thought I'm going to actually mirror something that one of my friends did right after I released my book. And one of my friends, Tiffany Charles, actually read out of the book. So I'm going to do that today, and then I'm going to share a little bit of what that means to me. And then I'm going to end with a quote from Stephen Hawking that I thought was just something to think about. And I'm going to read the preface of the book. And what it says is, in a world that constantly pushes us to achieve more, to be more productive, more successful, more perfect, how do we uncover our true path to fulfillment? How do we sift through the noise and distractions, steering clear of the fleeting allure of success to discover something real and lasting? Maybe the answer isn't about chasing perfection, my old habit, but about embracing the messy, the unpredictable journey of becoming our true selves. Perhaps the magic isn't found in one grand moment of triumph, but in small, intentional steps we take every single day. This book invites you to rethink how we approach growth, success, and joy. It's a call to understand that transformation is not a grand, one-time event, but rather a series of interconnected moments woven together by resilience, creativity, and the quiet power of persistence. In these pages, you'll find personal stories of my growth that break away from the ordinary and uncover the remarkable. I'm going to have to practice before I do the audible. They explore how embracing imperfection, harnessing the power of compounding, and building meaningful connections can transform your life and those of those around you. This journey is not about a single destination, but a process, an odyssey of continuous learning, becoming and creating a life you never thought possible. Life isn't a series of random events. It's a canvas we shape with each choice, each obstacle, and each person that we touch. In a sense, we are both the artist and the artwork, crafting something beautiful and meaningful from the raw materials of our experiences. This is my story of transformation, about resilience. It's about resilience, patience, and finding the power to turn challenges into masterpieces born from chaos. So I really do need to practice the reading. If you're ready to discover how small shifts in mindset, collaboration, and persistence can unlock extraordinary potential, you're in the right place. And the reason I wanted to talk about this opening is I need to do it with Tiffany one day, because she did it over a rock ledge in a sunset and then sent it to me, and it was beautiful. But it made me think about my life, and I have an accountability partner that her name is Lori Halter, and we've been accountability partners for probably 4 years now. And recently we were talking about we needed a word. It was actually Lori's idea, so I have to give credit to Lori. And the word hers is transcend. And then at the same time she was talking about transcend, I ran across the word transmute. So we decided to put those together, and we're going to use those to kind of push us forward in the next year. And transmute, by that I mean, I've learned in the past 5 years that my energy, my mood, the way I feel, the way I look at life, the way I look at challenges creates an energy, and either people want to be around you because you're happy, you're joyful. If an obstacle comes, you're going to push through it, or they run away from you because everything in life is falling apart and it's just miserable to be around you. So that was transmute, is I want my energy to always be something that draws people towards me. And then Lori's going to transcend. So I'm going to change the energy and I'm going to make it positive. And then we're going to transcend with this great, amazing energy into all these different things into the future months and years, so that we can achieve a lot of goals that we've had for a few years now. So I do like this. Transmute, get your energy as strong as you possibly can. And that for me is meditation, journaling, I am affirmations. It's in shifting the thoughts, getting rid of the blocks and putting in new thoughts. And then hers, transcending, taking those gifts that you've been accumulating throughout your life and push them to the next level. And I in visiting a lot of stories as I was trying to put the finishing marks on my book, I thought about, like, how did I get where I'm at right now? And it's ironic, but not ironic, because God is amazing and he puts us in journeys for a lot of different reasons that we'll never understand sometimes until we're back home. But if I look at my life, I'm headed in a direction right now using skills that I was more or less pushed into 30 years ago. Insurance has been my baby for many, many years in a different way than everybody that I know now uses it. But it's always been my special place because it was some place that somebody told me as a young girl, 18 years old, if you get into the insurance industry, it'll be your home for the rest of your life. Because even if you want to leave, they won't let you leave. And that really turned out to be a true statement. But it kind of guided a lot of the things that I studied and a lot of the directions I went in. And a lot of even like my accounting. My accounting structure is very different than small businesses because everything we did is regulated and rigid and generally accepted accounting principles and statutory. And I follow rigid rules that like the outside world doesn't tend to follow. But it was necessary because in a business as large as what I worked in, they're going to be the ones that have things fall apart first. So they're going to create the safety catches so that things don't go wrong. But so when I thought about it and I looked at it, I'm like, everything that happened has brought me to the next step in my life. I never thought of myself as becoming a life insurance agent. I never thought of myself as studying the IBC practitioners. I always saw myself taking insurance exams because I am studying for some now that are related to annuities. But I always saw it on the other side of it because I took all those designations. If they were offered, I took them. But it's always been my home. I just didn't understand that I didn't have to stay in the same lane. I could find a new highway and utilize what base I learned from over here 30 years ago and put it into play here. Now, does it give me all the tools? No, but I understand the terminology. I understand different areas because at points in my career, I've worked in all these different areas. So I helped claims when they took claims from, and yes, I'm guilty of this too, when they took our claims files from manila folders and put them into computer systems. I helped with that team. I did underwriting for a couple of years. I did compliance for a couple of years. I did regulatory filings for a couple of years. So I've done all of it, but now I can take those skills and I can shift them and create a new tapestry, which is the life insurance, which is the infinite banking policies. And I understand things in a different way. I can come at it and I can almost tell people why things are looked at in a certain way because I can remember being in a room when we had to address things differently. So for me, it's kind of exciting because it means that in the later years of my life, there's still growth. I can learn things in a different way and I can share it. And the best part of it is in learning this new way for myself, infinite banking policies and the infinite banking process, I wish I had known it 10, 15, 20 years sooner. I'm grateful that I just got the renewal notice for my second policy. So I think they're going into so if 2020 was starting it, I started writing my policies in 2020. So that was probably 2021. So those policies they're completing year 4, going into year 5 right now. All of them. So this will be number 2 into year 5. And later, early summer, my third one will go into year 5. But it's a beautiful thing that I've learned to be able to take what I knew, apply it differently, grow into something that I didn't know before, and see that it could help a lot of people. And helping other people, it doesn't just help the people that I may know today, but it can help generations. So I am excited about that. I'm excited that things didn't get stagnant. I don't like stagnant. I truly have a belief that if we are going to stay healthy into our senior years, we need to continually learn. Why? Because our brain is a muscle and we want it to be active. And if it's active, then maybe we won't get some of the diseases that some of our seniors suffer from. Now, it's not just in using the mind. It is also in what we fuel that mind with. And that includes food and thoughts. But I think that there are some things we can do to shift into a better, different life. So I think that's what I wanted to say is I'm actually excited I'm not going to say there aren't moments that I'm concerned or that things aren't moving as fast as I'd like them to, but I'm excited about the future. And I'm excited about the people that I will help along the way, the people that have started listening. I mean, it's kind of cool when my mom says to me one morning, I think I'm starting to understand. And when my friend that helped me with my publisher for my book, when she said, I thought you were involved in a scam, but I've researched it and I know it's not anymore. So when those conversations happen and I can start to help people, it opens my world up in a different way, because I truly am a person that cares about everyone and wants to see everyone do better than what they were doing before. I truly am passionate about people. I care about seeing the world get better, and I do believe we have an opportunity to make it get better. So I know I digressed a bit here, and I shared a bit from my book. Again, thank you for everybody who's purchased and for the reviews I've been getting. Thank you so much. But I wanted to say that this was the beginning of my journey. This is the beginning of what's been happening to me in the past 5 years. But the journey just started, because as long as I'm here, I want to be reaching for more, learning more, helping more people, and moving forward in ways that I didn't before. And I didn't realize this nail polish was so dark, but it's called Cat's Eye. So you know I got caught on it. So anyways, I think it's been an amazing journey. I truly believe that to stay young in the mind, you have to continue to use the mind, fuel it properly, and be active in trying to become more than what you were the day before. I am grateful for the opportunities. I am so glad that 10 years ago, and I will share this again, when I had surgery 10 years ago, I went to the table, 9 years ago, I went to the table with the intent of trying to get off the bench for 10 years. I did not think I had a lot of life left, and I thought that if I could just get off the bench for 10 years, at least my adult life wouldn't have been all stuff. And now I look at it and I'm like, and Doc Lee was the first one who said this to me, why is 10 years enough? And the thing is, now my joke is 10 years isn't enough, because the Grim Reaper is going to have one amazing hoverboard, because my plan is to slide in at home. God's going to give me a high five and he's going to say, you might have started late, but amazing job. And that will be my gift to this world, the legacy that I leave behind. So as I go into this, I want to share a quote with you from Stephen Hawking, because he interests me a lot in his life. And he's talking about this idea of what is it we think we know, that really, this isn't the quote, but anybody who's followed the IBC crew and Chris Noggle and learning about the infinite banking concept, we all know that the biggest obstacle we overcome is challenging what we think we know so that we can be open to learning something new. So this quote from Stephen Hawking kind of spoke to me, and it's, the idea that we are alone in the universe seems to me completely implausible and arrogant, considering the number of planets and stars that we know exist. It's extremely unlikely that we are the only form of evolved life. So what that made me think is, how many times are we assuming that what we always thought was true is still true? And when are we going to stop and ask questions and see if we can't do it a little bit differently, a little bit more interestingly? Maybe it'll be a little bit tougher, but it'll take us to places that we never even dreamed were goals. If I was to tell you that I dreamt the big dreams that are happening in my life right now, I'll tell you, things are bigger and better than what I dreamed them 5 years ago. Are they where I want them to be? Absolutely not. And they never will be, because I have this desire to continue and to keep pushing forward. But I'm grateful that the plug didn't get pulled 10 years ago, that it isn't going to be pulled when I hit 10 years post-surgical, because I'm just about there now. I'm grateful for the opportunity to push limits and to see what I can do, not only for myself, but for every one of you too. So thank you for being here. I appreciate you more than you'll ever know. And yes, this is a little darker than I normally do, but when they said the word cat's eye, I'm like, I'm all in. So thank you. Have a great day, and we'll talk soon.